Uh-oh. All right. Shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom. Huh. Yeah. Hallelujah. All right, we're back with another one. Another episode of prophetic preaching and timely teaching under Yes Ministries. That's Yes Ministries, which stands for Your is everlasting salvation and Your is eternal salvation. And we can find this in Isaiah 45:17 and Hebrews chapter 5, verse 9. All right. So, for those of you who can see the title, it says Speaking the Word in Faith. Now, of course, we are talking about the Word of the Most High, the Word of Yah. Okay? For those of you that are on here, so nobody comes on here and thinks that we could be talking about Islam or talking about any other word other than the word that is true. And the word that is true is the word of the Most High. And we've already had a full discussion on truth. So if you need to go to that, actually we had a couple of discussions on truth. So if you need to go to that, you can scroll down a little further in these archives and you'll find that. So we don't need to go into a whole other thing talking about the fact that the Most High word is true. It just is. If his word wasn't true, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even exist. Right. So his word is indeed true. All right. So we did. Sorry about that. So we did one recently that was called what? Right Now, right? Okay. And of course we talked about now faith. Okay. Now faith being the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Okay. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. All right, we talked about that. We'll get to that in a minute. So right now we're talking about speaking the word in faith. So we're talking about speaking the word of the Most High in faith. Now, let's ask ourselves a couple of things. Why should we speak the word of the Most High in faith? Well, we gave one answer when we were already talking about the fact that it's true. Let's give another answer. Isaiah 55:11 talks about, so shall my word be unto me. It shall not return void unto me, but it shall accomplish that which I please and prosper in thing whereto I sent it. That's what the Father says, what the Most High said. This is the truth. We look at all that Yoshua Mashiach, Jesus the Christ, known as Jesus the Christ in most tones, and so most people as that. Uh, he is the word of the Most High. He's the word of He didn't return to the Father void. He did everything the Father asked of him to do. That's why I said it is finished. Now, yes, we know he coming back to what? We know he coming back to redeem his people. We know he cracking open the sky. We know that. We see that in Revelation. All right. Among other places in what is known as the Old Testament, but we should be calling it the Tanakh. It's not old. It's not away with. Matter of fact, there's plenty of prophecies in there, if you look, that have not happened. So, it's not old. So, realistically, we should stop calling it that. We should just call it scripture. Okay? We need the whole of the book. The volume of the book is written of Yeshua Mashiach, Jesus Christ. Point blank, period. So, we're talking about speaking the word in faith. Now, since we talked about that, since we established some of those things, we established that his word is truth. Interesting enough, he desires truth in the inward parts. Right? But we just talked about what his word never returns void unto him. It's not like when we're doing a computer computer program on C++. That's one of the computer languages. For those of you that don't know about that, it's not like that value. Well, it's not even a value. It's not even. It's like it's not when you see void on it. When it says void, I mean it's not going to return it. I'm gonna do that's not going to return it. Right. The Father said His word don't return unto Him void. So when He send a word, when He give a command, best believe that's what it is. Don't return void unto Him. He expects us to bear fruit. Like His Son, Yeshua Mashiach, Jesus Christ, He always bore fruit. That's what he did. Right. He even said his father is a husband. And the rest enough, right? And he the true vine. And he bore fruit. He said if we abide in him and he in us will bear much fruit. Hmm. So what does faith come by, y'all? So let's get to that too. What does faith come by? Faith come by hearing, hearing by what? The word of Jehovah. Okay. It's like man don't live by bread alone, by every word that proceed out of the mouth of the Most High. Yeah, doth man live. Right? What is that? Luke 4:4 and Deuteronomy 8. Yes. Yes, Luke 4:4, Deuteronomy 8:3. So we should be speaking his word to him. Interesting enough, also according to Psalm 103:20, angels hearken to his word. They don't hearken to our word. We're going to be seeking out angels and speaking to them like we've been talking about. No, no, we pray to the Father. That's who we pray to. They hearken to his word. They don't hearken to ours. They hearken to the Most High Yours word, because that's who they serve. And it says, are not all angels, are not all Malachim, are not all angels ministering spirits, sent forth to minister to them who shall inherit salvation. Indeed, it says that, right? But they don't listen to the word of the Most High. Meaning, what? We should continue to what? Speak the word of the Most High. We should be speaking on it all day. It talks about that in Deuteronomy. While you in the house teaching it to your children, while you moving, while you moving around, while you're doing things, while you're in the house, what it talks about. It really should be doing it, day and night. That would it said. Let's go Joshua 1:8 real quick. So it's a faith come by hearing, hearing come by the word of Elohim. When you hear that word of Elohim, then right there, that means you have that faith. You have that faith. So you got to what? Keep speaking. You got to declare and decree. A lot of times, one of the points we miss, even when it looks the complete opposite, because Evan is going to come and try to take that word because he knows how powerful it is. He knows the scripture, so he knows how powerful it is. He's going to try to come and take that because he don't want that to happen. He comes to still killing the story. So he doesn't want you to bear fruit. He don't want you to bear fruit worthy of repentance. He don't want you to bear fruit of the Spirit. He wants you to have, rotten fruit that ain't producing nothing. He wants you to do works of the flesh, which will lead to death. Right. Not produce. All right. So we're talking about speaking the word in faith. Speaking the word in faith. Let's go Joshua 1:8. Real quick. All right. Let's go to the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. All right. And it says, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate therein day and night, that you may guard to do, that you may keep to do, that you may guard to do according to, that you may do according to all that is written therein, for then you shall make your way prosperous. And then you shall have good success. Right. Because that's what his word going to do. His word going to bring forth fruit. That's what it's going to do. It's going to sanctify you, set you apart, change you, make you a vessel fit for the master's use. It's going to wash you. Right? Like it says, being washed by the water of the word. So you got to continue to get in this word. All right. Let's see here. Let's go to all right, James 1:19 real quick. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. We need to be swift to hear the commands of Jehovah, slow to wrath. Because the wrath of man don't what? It works not the righteousness of Jehovah. That's what it says in the next verse in James 1:20. What we want to do is what? Work the righteousness of you. We got the righteousness of Elohim in Christ. So not only with that, we are to walk it out. Okay, so when we walk in the Spirit, we may not fulfill what? The lust of the flesh. When we walk in the Holy Spirit, that's what that's saying, of course. When we walk in the Holy Spirit, we bear fruits of the Spirit. Okay. Now we're talking about faith. There's also a gift, a gift of the Spirit that is called the gift of faith. We'll get into that real quick. Can I say? In a little bit. Right. So you don't want to be what? Quick to wrath. And we talked about that. We talked about that on another one. We want to be what? Like when they talked about Abraham, he was quick to do the commandments of your, but he was not impatient. He was not slow to do the commandments of your. He surely was not quick to go and do something that was wrong. We have that kind of testing. All right, we're talking about speaking the word and faith. All right, let's go to Proverbs 23. Don't worry, somebody on here might be thinking about Hebrews 11:6. Don't worry, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yes, also when we look, we see James 3:30, and I was already also thinking about he must increase, but I must decrease. Right. We continue to speak the word, not speak our word. We are to speak his word. That's why the most powerful prayers when you're in prayer are prayers you're incorporating the word as well. Point blank, period. Okay. It's like we just said, it's the truth and it doesn't return void unto him. And we talked about Luke 4:4. Remember, he was saying that. He was saying it is written. He was saying that to the elders. So he spoke the word against them. Right, same thing we're supposed to. We should be so full of the word that it just comes out. It just comes out of us. Watch this. Proverbs 23:7. Right, he that hunger and thirst after righteousness shall be filled. Come on, let's continue. Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. That's how as a man thinks, so is he. Right. That's Proverbs 23:7. What? Yes. Okay. Eat and drink, says he to you, but his heart is not with you. Okay. So as a man thinketh, so is he. So those things in your heart. Okay. So those things in your heart, that's what you're gonna say, and that's what you're gonna do. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Is the word in your heart. Do you hide the word in your heart that you might not sin against him? Right, when operating in faith, we're not sinning. Whatsoever is not of faith is sin. That's in scripture as well. Why is that? Because faith is what pleases the Father. Therefore, if you're not in faith, you're in doubt, you're in unbelief, and that is not pleasing. We saw that with the group in there. We see that with one where we see that even in Revelation when it talks about the unbelieving, the fearful, and it lists other groups, but those groups will have their part in the lake of fire. They won't be in it. They won't get in the kingdom of the kingdom of Elohim. You gotta be in faith. Watch this. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please Elohim. It's possible to please God. For that to come to him must believe that he is. Right, you gotta know that he is. Okay? It's just like when we talked about on love recently, when we went to that one in Mark, when he was asked, when Yeshua Mashiach, Jesus Christ, was asked what the greatest commandment was, he started off with what? Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. Then he said what? And you shall love what? Yo, what? Elohim. Watch this. Let's go. I believe it was Mark. We're still in that part that we're in Hebrews 11, verse 6. Sorry. It was Mark 12. Yes. And he said, and you shall love your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. So first off, what did it say? It said believe that he is. Right. Right there, they said the Shema first. You got to believe that he is. That he's what? Well, if you look at his name, he's the self-existent one. He's the eternal one. But also, when you look right there in the Shema, what did it say? He's a God. Right. You got to know that. You got to know he's one. He's united. He's one. He's united. He's on one accord. Right. He on one accord. The Most High Yah, his son Yahushua, and the Spirit of Yah. Right. It's why he desires us to worship him in spirit and in truth. The word faith and truth are fine. You believe, you have faith, and you believe in the truth of Yah's word. Period. That's what that is. So you must believe that he is. That's the first step. You have to believe that he is. Right. He's the one who was, is, and is to which is to come, the Almighty. Find that in Revelation chapter 1. That he is. He said, I will be and I will be, which most time when we look in there, it says, we see what I am that I am. Right. You got to believe that. You got to know that. Faith is actually a known. It says, now faith is the substance. I mean, you know it's some substance, mean they got something to it, yo. The evidence. I mean, you have evidence. Right. All the evidence you need is that he said it. Because when he said it, it's already happened. He only speaks from the place of having already done something. Understand that, y'all. The thing we've done is already written down in his book. Just like when you see in Psalms, when we talked about even on the other one, all our members are written in his book. Really? You know exactly how tall we're going to be, how long, how tall we was going to be, how wide we were going to be, who we were going to be born to. He already knew that. He planned all that out. He stood the lamb at the foundation of the world out of his love for us, even knowing what Adam was already going to do and what all of us was already going to do. So yes, that is conditional love part. He just did that knowing we were still going to do what we did, what we've done in our lives. Let's say that. Right? He still did that knowing, because he know the end from the beginning. Like I said, he speaks from a place of already having done what he says. You can take that all the way to the main catch. Check and never bounce. Understand it. Never. Right? The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of your endure forever. Right? Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall never pass away. That's what Jesus Christ said. That's what he said. That's a red word. Can you catch that read? Do you believe? What he said a lot of times, according to your faith. You be whole, may you be whole. All right, so it said you must believe that he is, and that he, and what? Now he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You diligently seek him. We got to diligently seek him. For more and more, and we got to go from what? Glory to glory and faith to faith. We got to go from faith to faith, yeah. Right. You're supposed to just stay at that first spot you was at when you first believed, when you first had faith. That's why we did that one. The one we just did as well when we talked about what? Right now. We talked about that. Now is the time. He said, now is that what he said. Now is it, and then what? Now is this, then when you first believe, or when you believe, right? It's near now. Each moment closer and closer to that. Closer and closer to the time that you shall Mashiach Jesus Christ will return. Every second. Closer and closer. No man know the day or the hour, absolutely. But he said I could possibly come. So you shouldn't be wasting no kind of time. None. Time don't even belong to you. Time belongs to the Most High. This time, this breath he gave you in your body, you better use it to the utmost. I said we. Right. Right. Me by dead. Right. I got dead. Right. We first partake. Right. We got to do what he say. Nobody above what he say. Interesting. He go by his word. He put his word even above all his name. So how of us gonna be above him? Exactly. Right. How you gonna be above his word, above his that's interesting when they say under the right? Are you above it? Right. We're not greater than that. We're not greater than the Right. We still gotta do what he said. He's the author of eternal salvation to them that what? Obey him. That what it say? Ain't that the one we just used? We just said? Hebrews 5 and 9. That's one of our mainstays. That's one of our foundational scriptures as far as the name of this ministry. The Father so graciously granted. Me as a clay and as a excuse me. As a clay vessel that needs him to make me meet to be to make me fit for his use. He the master. The Most High YAH, he the master. Hallelujah. I'm glad he is. I want to be good at it. When now one to be good at it. Right. We don't know how to do or rule nothing except for how he have us to do it. So everything get jacked up when man think they know how to do something. Jack it up. Right. He was supposed to, have rule and dominion over the earth. Right. By that authority he gave us. We supposed to do things by that wisdom that he gave us. Not by us thinking we can do it on our own. That wasn't it. Where was it? Right. Do within the guidelines he gave. Let's get it though. All right. The Most High God always operates in faith. Always. When he says it, he has already looked down the road and seen exactly what it would look like. Right, because he already know what it looked like. He knew the end from the beginning. Right. Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith. Muna in the Hebrew. Which was used quite a bit of times for the word truth in the Hebrew. By faith, we understand that the universe, that the worlds, were created by the word of God. That what is seen was not made by what is seen. Right. That what is seen is made by what? By the things which do not appear. Made the things which do not appear. Right. The awesome part is he's still changing us. We don't even know what we yet shall be. Yes, we know we have our house waiting on us in heaven. Those of us that believe that He's gonna change us and uh, and that He's giving us power to become the sons of Elohim. We know that we know our identity. Right? And for those of us that just came in and don't, we need to get impressed, spend that time with Him so He can show us exactly. That's where our identity is found. It's found in Him. We are to be sons of the Most High. Okay. Yep. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of yours, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Hallelujah. All right. Because we were created to please Him. So we were created to what? Have faith in Him. Have faith in His word. Have faith in the Lamb slain before the foundation of the world. The oath through which the worlds were made. Right. That was also the thing that gave Him what the authority to be the one who made all the worlds. He was the word. So the Father spoke Him. So when He spoke Him, He created the worlds. Do you understand? The worlds, the angels, the Malachim. Right. All right. Right. Speaking must be powerful. If the worlds were created by even the and when I say this, I'm talking about the world system in a sense, like Babylon, in a sense. The what a lot of people may say is secular, but the interesting part is they have a religion as well, even though they don't believe that's a religion. Just saying, they believe in religion, that's a religion. So those that are in what the Bible talks about is the world system. So when it says world like that, it's talking about that, like the things in the world system, like the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life. Those that are under that are under the beggarly elements of the world, meaning they have not been translated into what the kingdom of the Most High Yah's dear Son. So realistically, they're like physically bound. They're always thinking of physically worldly things. Okay, those that are not believers in Yeshua Mashiach, Jesus the Christ. Okay, so even the world, so even the world has causes that's in the world system. They say speak positive things happen. Now then after that we say true, they got this from the word. The word creates, speak the word, create your day. Right. Speak the word in your whole, create your day. Don't just be speaking your own words. See, they be saying that and they be thinking stuff happen, but they don't realize what they're actually attracting. Because understand this, your words either your words either attract the kingdom of light, which is the side of the Most High Yahweh, the angels of Malachim. Like we said, they hearken unto Yahweh's word according to Psalm 103 and 20. Okay, or you're like they like to say that little attraction thing or they and things to them and stuff like that, or like when people are doing that stuff right like that with that law of attraction crap, or they're attracting demons to them. People can say what they want to say about, oh, I don't think this, I see it, blah, blah, blah. Live long enough, and you most likely will have that. You don't have to live long before you. Let me tell you that you just didn't know it. Excuse me, if it wasn't revealed to you by the Most High. Now, some that don't believe, they know what they're dealing with. They know what they're dealing with. People, they can check them up. They know that the words they speak are doing that stuff. They're not speaking in faith, though. They're speaking in wickedness when they do that stuff. But that attracts the wrong side when they're speaking that stuff. Or because those things also want, they need you to say something out there. They need you to say something out your mouth to agree with them or make a covenant with them. Everything is based off covenants. Even the fact that the world was made is based off the covenant that the Father made with His Son, right? That His Son will have to come and what? Be that lamb slain for the foundation of the world. Now notice it says before the foundation of the world. That means it happened then. That's what we're saying. We gotta understand who we're dealing with. We gotta know who we're dealing with. When we know who we're dealing with, we're gonna stay in faith. We know you're dealing with. Talking about the one who was, is, and is to come. Doubt for what? Right. Understand who you're dealing with. Serious. He called the Most High for a reason. Right. The Most High power for a reason. Right. You got the most. Oh, you get the tip top of the hierarchy. None higher than him. Point blank. Period. Hallelujah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that show, that cartoon Dora the Explorer. You remember how she used to walk around talking all the time? She would talk to stuff, her surroundings. Yeah. Remember when Swiper would come by? Basically, you could say Swiper is kind of like how Satan was. That's what he do. We just talked about that. He come to steal, kill, and destroy. What she would say to him? Swiper no swiping. Swiper no swipe. She'll tell him what? She tell him no swipe. She tell him, nah, you gotta go. But see, when we tell him what we gotta do, like we said, we gotta use the word. We gotta use the word. That's what has more power than him, not us. Not us saying something. And now, like I was, and that's the thing we need to know. If, like, say you about to say, man, I feel like when somebody will say, they feel depressed or something. Don't say that because that's giving that spirit of depression agreement. And if it's not already in you, it's you just gave it agreement or free reign to come and oppress you. So this is what it's saying about when they talking. That's why I say speak swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to rap. Don't be so quick to open your mouth and say stuff. You ever met that person don't say much, but when they open their mouth, it's like something A1 come out every time. When I say A1, I'm talking about on point every time. It's as if they stored up their words. It's kind of like when Joshua done walked around. Y'all remember they walked around Jericho 7 days, right? They walked around that wall. They walked around it what 7 times or less, and then they shout. They shouted. It was like they stored up. And we like talk about energy. It's like they stored up the word, the power of the word, because they did not say it. So then it's like they stored it up. And so when they said it, it was more powerful than on that first day, or if they were talking and thinking on anything else. That's what happened when you meditate on the word like that. And that's the thing. Every situation don't warrant you actually responding to it either. If it's something, then you let it say, someone say the word, then you say that, then you say that. The kingdom of Elohim is not only in word, but in power. Right. Kingdom of Elohim, when you speak the word of Yahuwah, that is power. We're going to talk about that soon. About power. Because a lot of us don't understand what true power is. We really don't. You talking about we got power, you got this, you got that. No, the Most High is the one who got the power. Please don't get it twisted. Thinking you something more than you are. Stop. Hey, put your candle out. Right. You talking about you ain't got no light right there, no power. Right. Knock your power out like when right how people power be getting just knocked out of nowhere when the place be getting struck with lightning and things like that happen. Right. But yeah, when you speak it, believe it'll come to pass. Give God his word back to him to increase Jesus. Right. He must increase, I must decrease. Increase him in you. Increase him like you rest in him. He does it. That's a beautiful part too. Now we're gonna talk about the gift of faith, right? We'll talk about the gift of faith. The gift of faith is essentially, or basically, you're given faith like how Jesus would have, okay, like how Yahshua would have, which means you would have no doubt. You don't have doubt. You never doubt it. You knew what you're supposed to do. It would be like that. You just believe. It's like you have the faith to believe in whatever situation, any situation, no matter how and like what dire it looks. That's what the gift of faith is. That's like supernatural gift of faith. It's like it gives you His faith, so you cannot doubt. In that in that because when that happened, that would get happens. I'm sorry. That's the gift of faith. You just believe. That's not just faith. It's our real mustard seed. That's bigger. That's the cool part about that gift of the Spirit. Um, Moses definitely would have had that one in what we know as the Tanakh, commonly called Old Testament. But yeah, um, that's how you were able to see him just perform many miracles. But sometimes he was like when he just threw the rod out there, he just did that. That was like give a faith. That was working with miracles. That was like they were working in tandem in a sense. Um, yeah. What did we? Oh, when we talked about agreement, yeah. Can two walk together except they be in agreement? So we need to be in agreement with the Most High and not in agreement with the and His with the entities in His kingdom. We don't need to be in agreement with those things. We don't need to be like at the Tower of Babel where they were in agreement. Their imagination was what they imagined they could pretty much have it. Unfortunately, that's the way we see the world. The world system. And now it's like that imagination is a lot like Genesis. It's getting toward like how Genesis 6 was as well. Like you're just thinking of crazy stuff, and it's like, okay, let's try to do it. It's alright. They think it's okay. They think that's cool, but it's clearly against what the Most High said. Um, they're trying to restore it to one language. Everybody how to basically communicate and speak with each other, and then they want to have them do Type Babel 2.0. And the internet is a lot in a sense, a lot like um, it's a lot like the Type. It's kind of like a form of it, but a different kind of way. But then they're also building these. They're trying to build these really tall, high towers as well, physically. But of course, it's also a spiritual thing. Everything starts and does in a way that you cannot see. So we're talking about this right now. We're talking about speaking the word and faith. So it was more so not just the height of what they built with the type, but it was more so the spiritual connotation of what could be done in this larger context, what they was talking about trying to do. They weren't just building like, oh, let's just build it, oh, let's just make everything good. That was part of it. That was not of it. Okay, so we were talking about speaking of word and faith. So right there, since they were already in confusion, because we were rebelling against the Most High, that's already foolish. That's already confusion. That you confused. You got it twisted if you thought you was gonna fight the Most High. Like, come on. Yeah, you confused. That's complete confusion. So what he gave me? He gave him confusion. He confused their tongue. They was already confused. He gave them what they had. You already confused trying to do what you want to do. You're like, no, I'm gonna shut that down real quick. But they couldn't even understand each other to keep trying to build it. And they're trying to work their way toward that again. We know y'all all been hearing about this according order and everything. It's not even new though. That's the part about it is that new under the sun. It'll be the same as what we saw way back then. Because technology then was better. We be thinking they technology. No, in the days of Noah, the technology was way better than we're approaching. In a sense, it's quite a bit of stuff. I would say there's quite a bit of stuff they have been doing. They just haven't released yet. They do that a lot. Just understand that they do that a lot. And 5G ain't finna do something we want. 5G, we trying to tell people brains, y'all, we gotta stay in prayer. We gotta cover ourselves and our loved ones in prayer. I mean, the internet we got, look. The internet we got now is fast enough. Don't let them trick you into getting that stuff. Cause it's like, oh, we got these amazing, high speeds. It's fast right now. This is cool. It's fast enough, right? I'm not trying to have faster internet. Okay, man, we used to have dial-up, man. Come on. Now, as a young folk, they might get on here that if they real, they don't know about that AOL, American Line, that dial up, that thing, and then when you was it took forever to load up on the screen. Took forever, but you had to have patience. Well, you could learn patience a lot of different ways, but one of them would have been trying to wait on your page. Don't let it be you had big pictures or you possibly had videos on that page. Oh man, that thing gonna take about 20 minutes longer. If it did that, might well went outside or went and played a game or something. You hungry, whatever, it came back. That thing might was loaded for you. But yeah, you gotta speak the word of Lord and faith. And complete faith. That's what he wants. That's what pleases him. Do what he said. Faith. Did you believe his word right? It was by the works that you did confirm that your faith was alive. Right? If Adam got the faith came by hearing, it came by the word of Elohim. So it came. But then what? His faith was being what? Dead because he didn't partake of it. He hearkened to the woman instead of hearkening to the Most High. When he hearkened to him, that would have showed his faith was alive. It's like when they talk about in Abraham believed you, and it was accounted unto him as righteousness, right? Well, that's what you see in Genesis, of course, but you also see in Romans as well. You also see that he already had left. You also see he already had left the Chaldees, y'all. Right. He already had did that. So he already had faith, and the works that showed his faith was alive. Come on. But yeah, by the time you get to 15, he already gone. That's chapter 15 of Genesis. Chapter 12, when he told him to leave his country, he had already done that. Come on. Come on. Come on. He had already done that. Right. And then, nah, he had already done that. Then you let the things he did show that he believed. Right. He was going to give up Isaac. Come on. He believed. Right. His words showed. He believed his faith was alive. All right. I pray everybody enjoying this spot. If you need to get in contact with us here at Yes Ministries, you can email us at yesministries45@gmail.com. That's yesministries45@gmail.com. You can also get in contact with us on Twitter at YAH Remembers. That's YAH, YAH Remembers. Yep, the Most High Yah, He does indeed remember. He ain't forgot about us. He ain't forgot about His people. What else? Oh, we got to get Spreaker back up and running. But we live and share on Spreaker. Salvation and Glory 7 on YouTube. And you can also leave a comment on this Facebook page. All right. And that's Yes Ministries 45@gmail.com. Type it into the chat. There we go. All right. So yes, indeed, this was another episode of prophetic preaching and timely teaching under Yes Ministries. And on that note, we're going to say shalom.